One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
Warriors, welcome to episode number 289. This is the Anxiety Guy podcast. I'm Dennis Simsek. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for commenting on YouTube. Thanks for interacting with me on Instagram. I truly appreciate so very much that you would consider me to help you on your healing journey. Let's do this together. Today is all about the 3 anxiety habits that you must reverse today. Before I get into it, I'd love if you could visit theanxietyguy.com and sign up, bottom right, sign up for that emailing list. Because when you sign up to the email list, you will get weekly newsletters from me updating you on recent content, the latest sales on all my programs, and much, much more. So sign up at theanxietyguy.com, bottom right, on the opt-in form, and as well, receive the digital copy of Me versus Myself, my first book, today. And of course, with anxiety, there are habits. There are habits and habits and habits. There are mental habits. There are physical habits. There are all sorts of habits that we need to alter. We need to look beyond. We need to shift. And today I want to focus more on 3 habits that, when I look back on my own anxiety disorder days, these were the very things that were causing me to misinterpret things. And isn't that what anxiety really is? A misinterpretation. A situation arises that you're unfamiliar with, and of course, anything unfamiliar is scary, unsafe to the inner child, and therefore you come up with excuses for why you can't go or do it. And so, interpretation is everything. Perception is everything. And when we change these habits, what also tends to change is our perception. We no longer see threats as threats. We see them as challenges. And without challenges, we cannot thrive. We cannot heal from an anxiety disorder until we meet with those challenges in a compassionate manner. And the first habit that you must reverse starting today is rushing. Please slow down. Rushing gives us the impression that we are moving farther away from what it is that we fear, but it only is an impression. The more you rush, the more you are strengthening your fearful beliefs. And slowing down provides us with clarity and wisdom, while speeding up only keeps us living in a pre-programmed future. If you continue to rush, you continue to be instinctual. If you continue to be instinctual, you're never thinking, you're always replaying the same ideas from yesterday. If you continue to rush, you stay within fight or flight. And let me tell you something. If you are in fight or flight, you will also be met with freezing. You will experience overwhelming emotions from time to time because you are in a sympathetic, go kind of state. When you stop rushing and when you slow down, you move yourself into a parasympathetic state. Now you can actually think for yourself. Thinking for yourself is something that isn't very common in today's world, but it is available. The second habit is distracting from your symptoms. What would happen if you always looked to distract from a 2-year-old? Well, the 2-year-old would get louder and louder and louder and louder. And so, when we distract from our symptoms, many times going to our mobile devices, the next big social media platform, what tends to happen is we are only justifying our fears further. We are telling the inner child that, hey, what you believe about myself, about my self-worth, about the fearfulness within reality is all true. And it comes around full circle, many times stronger than originally. So we have to stop distracting ourselves from our symptoms. Distracting leads to the inevitable strengthening of our beliefs around fears and threats. Instead of distracting, we must welcome them. We must say, there's a message, there's a sign from my body. I'm either overdoing something or I'm neglecting something, many times both. But these bodily messages must be seen as messages, because if we see them as threats, we will always be living in a fearful, dangerous world. At least, that's how we will interpret reality, when in fact, this world is a safe place. And the third habit that we must reverse is connected to avoiding new experiences, right? I'll tell somebody, hey, we're going to go do this new thing today. And the first thing that crosses their mind is what could go wrong during that new experience. That's not you rationally. That's not you logically. That's not the adult mind. That's the inner child that wants to keep you safe. And when we present ourselves to these new experiences and hold the inner child by the hand and say, you know what? This could be pleasant. And it could be pleasant because this reason and that reason and that reason. And what's happening is we are tipping the scales from fear to love. We are seeing things as they are, not worse than what they are. And this is the goal. The goal is to take the inner child by the hand and say, you know what? The beliefs that you grew up with when you were a child are no longer true for us. They don't work today, and they won't work in the future. And here's what's true instead about this new experience. That's the approach. That's the mindset that we want to have. Warriors, anxiety is a symptom of suppressed anger, blame, guilt, and other emotions. It's not the problem, but rather it's a sign of a deeper set of emotionally driven problems that are connected to your inner child or subconscious mind. When you can begin speaking this language, when you can begin looking deeper than what your instincts believe is true, then you will begin speaking through your intuition. You will begin speaking through your heart. And what's going to happen is you are going to open yourself up to answers. It's very hard to find these intuitive answers when you are always in a fight or flight cycle. When you leave fight or flight and you engage in meditation, grounding, nature time, engage with high vibey foods, take these herbs and such, what tends to happen is you move yourself towards a world that many are unfamiliar with. This is more so connected to energy and less about matter. You start to see things deeper than their physical presence. And my friends, this is the goal. This is the direction we want to go. Because life mustn't be lived in fear. That's not called life. That's called surviving. You're not here to survive. You're here to grow. Because you're going to be met with chapters in your life. This chapter, then the next chapter, then the next chapter. Some of these chapters are pleasant and easy to go through, while other chapters you must learn from and you must grow with. Anxiety is just another chapter. You must take the lessons from anxiety. That anxiety is trying to teach you. You must implement them and you must continue growing. So grow with me. Let's continue to move forward and let's reverse these anxiety habits starting today. No more rushing, no more distracting from your symptoms, and no more avoiding new experiences. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. If you get the chance, visit theanxietyguy.com and learn more about all of my powerful digital programs that you can begin today to begin healing your anxiety starting today. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.